Hello, Gunpla fans. It's Speedball Haro, and today for you guys, I have for you the second installment of the G Witch franchise's Demi Trainer line, the CHUCHU'S Demi Trainer, though it's not mentioned, custom, as you guys can of course see. This, of course, is another variation directly based upon the retailed Demi Trainer, which I had done before with the exclusive Demi Trainer release. But yes, this is a fun build, just as like I mentioned before. It's an easy to build as well. It is different though, guys. Understand there is a few differences between this kit and even the standard and exclusive versions. And well, as you can obviously tell right off the bat, yeah, cosmetically is a lot more than the others. But yeah, this is of course a fan favorite for the G-Witch series for many reasons. I won't say why. But this kit, however, is a really nice version of it. I like it. It's a really cool giant gunner version, for one. Two, I like the fact that details aren't exact the same. I do like that because most of the other Demi trainers, well, yeah, they're pretty much identical. But yeah, this one's really nice. I do like all the cool features this one has. For instance, like the legs here, guys, these side thrusters. You can move now up and down, all the way around, because the regular version does not come with these parts specifically. Another fun gimmick, of course, is this shoulder shield here. Definitely like that. You gotta always love the shoulder shield gimmicks. Fun for display ideas. And of course, as you can tell right now, there's a new backpack setup that is, of course, designed specifically for Miss Chu's Demi. And yes, as you can all tell, there is a wire attachment to the really big gun it uses. That was a really cool feature, guys. We don't get a lot of wired guns anymore, do we? At least not for high grades. Master grades probably a ton. Let's see what else. Articulation, however, is pretty much the same as the standard version, guys. Not much has changed there, except for one feature, and that is the feet you see here. It looks the same, guys, like the standard, but it is different. For one, as you can see right here, there's actually wheel molds in here. I painted so you guys can see the difference. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry about that, guys. That, for some reason, I don't know if this is just my copy, but for some reason, her leg here, this specific leg, I don't know why. It just keeps popping off on me. I don't know why. If anyone else has had that problem, just, please share in the comments. But yeah, other than that, guys, yeah, the wheel mold is added to this that the original versions did not have. And as you can tell by the ankle armor here, besides articulation-wise, it looks different because, one second. That's the other annoying fact. For some reason, the back of the feet there don't always want to stand up if you don't have it in the right position. As you can see here with the standard Demi trainer I have for you guys, the ankles look different, and that's because Miss Chu's Demi has actually been added some additional height because of these ankles. Literally, if I can get this off, here we go. See, this whole top section here, minus the front cover here, is an added section to this foot now that gives it an additional height boost, which is pretty nice. It's cool, of course. Does it give any additional articulation? Not really. It's still the same swivel and such. It still poses the same as the regular, so nah. But it does give it more height to it now, of course. So that's pretty cool. What else? Let's see. Oh, the other feature you're gonna like, guys, with this version is the head. Yes, this is a completely different head sculpt from the standard version, guys, as you can hopefully see. It has a different mono eye, literally a mono eye in this case, but it also has Vulcans on this one now. Yeah, the standard version doesn't have that gimmick, and it actually has a V fin, an actual horn fin there, like a Zaku. So that's a fun fact because the standard version has the well, I call it the unicorn head, but yeah, but this is more of a command horn deal, so I like that. That and lastly is the shoulder armor you see here, which is just that. It doesn't do anything special. It's just different armor on that side. Well, yeah, it's all cool there, guys. Articulation, like I said, is the same. Let's see, but here, I'll show it anyway. Let me just move, but let me show you one fact with the gun, though, what's cool about how it's set up, because as you guys can see, it holds the gun pretty well without any hands, right? But that's, of course, because of this part right here, which I'll get into in a few. But for right now, let's move that out of the way so I can show you the body's articulation. Full 360, right, just like before. The shoulder, in and out, just like the regular. You guys can see where I'm going with all this, right? Head full 360, but like I mentioned with the regular version, no ball joint or anything like that in the neck, so you can't really do any up and downs. I mean, you can move this part up if you wanted, but yeah. Hands, the arm, of course, can go all the way. And of course, because of the wrist gimmick here, you can do another full 360 there. And of course, ball jointed hands. And like I said, with the legs, it's about the same. Full out. It does bump in the same back armor, so yeah. Knee can go that far, as you can see. And like with the feet, you can stub toes, push down, break it. And yeah, that's about it there. And of course, full 360 there. Now, like I said, for some weird reason, yeah, for some odd reason, like I was trying to say, this leg for me just keeps popping off every so often when I, play with it and such. I don't know why. It'll just pop off. Oh, of course, now it doesn't want to. But yeah, yeah, that's about it with articulation wise. But now for the gun, like I was mentioning, as you can see, it's hold on to this waist connection right here, just on one part, full pegs on both ends. So you, of course, can do it back and forth. With the handle, you can do it that far. And oh, yeah, do watch out though with the wire, guys. For some reason, unless you glue it in pretty much, yeah, it's going to pop out. Just a heads up. So in fact, let me just move that out of the way for right now. Now, of course, the way you can position it, though, is you can stand it up like this, so it actually allows your Demi to put it in a upright position, so to speak, which is actually a pretty cool pose. I like that about it. It's pretty cool. And, of course, you can point down with it. And, of course, you now can shoot at a distance angle, as you can see. And it holds pretty well in their hands, guys, with no big issues. That's pretty well. I like that. And of course, as you can see with the Demi, with this version, you get an open hand, which the standard doesn't come with. Keep that in mind, guys. That you can use in place of a holding hand to pose it with the other handle, because it is a bit tricky with the gun to use the holding hand for the second handle. So this open hand does help with such poses. And of course, once you reattach the wire, yeah, like that, and you get a cool sniping pose. Do like that. Now, is there any real flaws with this? There is one little flaw with the gun setup, guys. The gun itself I like because you can detach parts off it to customize it if you have certain other kits, which I'll mention later. But for this particular setup, guys, the one flaw I've noticed with it is the setup to the from between the gun to the waist here. It's just one it's just one part right here that connects them. But unfortunately, because of how it's designed with just two pegs and only one swivel right there on the gun part, yeah, there is the flaw that you don't get too many poses out of it, sadly. I've been playing around with this, and outside of certain angles and such, guys, it's a bit of a challenge to pose it in like many different gun poses, if that's what you're hoping for, I mean. But, it's not a big deal because, one sec. If you look here in the manual, guys, right there, it shows you, possible poses you might want to put it in. You got like a crouching pose right here, back view, and of course the standing pose, like I mentioned. And this is more like the more iconic pose because it's even the box art there. So, well, yeah, this is like a jump gunshot look pretty much, and that's probably one of the better poses you'll be able to put it in. But if you're just standing it up wise, I mean, in this kind of pose I have it, you can definitely pull it off with no problems. The only, like, minor problem is that trying to stretch the arm all the way out on this side to be able to hold it. That's, like, the bigger flaw. Well, minor, I should say, sorry. But yeah, that's like one of the only real flaws with this setup, guys, is just that part. I mean, if it had a little more articulation, that would allow the gun to, bend in certain angles to allow you to do other poses, than that. But other than that, guys, I definitely don't hate it at all. I like it. It's definitely another one of G-Witch's well done releases because just like the previous, no polycaps, very little color separation worries. I mean, literally, here's the sticker sheet. It's just lens parts. Literally, that's it. That's all it is. It's just lens. Everything else you see is perfectly color separate, guys. I love it. And this kit specifically, you get different parts that you don't get with the retail. Sorry, not retail, regular version. One is that you do get an additional set of hands, specifically open hands, as you can see. And you do get extra covers for those hands because, of course, you'll have a leftover fist hand. And you do get two. Sorry, I'm trying to get these in there. Covers. Though, of course, yes, as you can already tell, they're not identical color-wise to the ones you see there. Which, normally that would be a bummer because a lot of times hand covers, if you get so many, sometimes they're designed to only work with certain hands, which can be a pain in the butt because either the right ones work well with the regular hands, but not with the custom hands or something. So, yeah, that would normally be a bummer. But in this case, it's not because the way they designed the hands, they have identical ports on all the hands from fist to open. So the good news is that you could just swap out these ones you got on the suit with these extra ones just because without any worries, guys. Or if you paint these up, you got a matching set. There you go. In case you lose them. Because for me, I would just store these away with these covers so I'd still have a complete hand. See? All works out. So I definitely like this, guys. This is why G-Witch has impressed me once again, guys. They just, each release, there's just very little to worry about. And even if there was a few things, it's nothing compared to past lines. Let's put it that way. Okay, enough of me blabbing. Let's do some comparisons real quick. As you saw before, the standard Demi Trainer, as you can definitely tell the difference, and height as well. Let's see, and because we're looking at a mobile suit with a long-barreled weapon, I decided to pull out my NPD Space Leo Custom with the big beam cannon. And lastly, because we're talking about a mobile suit, a long-range rifle once more, I decided to pull off my shelf the high-grade Lunamaria's Gunner Zaku, so you guys can see and compare something that was released that many years ago to this year, to, well, only a few months ago, as you can see, which both use wire connections. That was the other fun fact I liked about this setup. But yeah, as you can see, yeah. Okay. And that is literally it, guys. So yeah, I definitely recommend the CHUCHU'S Demi Trainer. It's a fun unit, and I know a lot of fans have been asking, "Hey, why don't we get a figurized Chew?" I can, and trust me, you'll understand why if you watch the series. Other than that, guys, if you look up this mobile suit online, guys, you'll see some amazing customs for it. So yes, I highly recommend this kit, guys. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. I thank you all for coming. I hope you're enjoying your hobby, and I'll see you later.